Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today. Um, so this is one of our Chalkless talks, brief presentations and workflows and processes for media. And we're excited today. We're showing one of our tools, which is for monitoring system health. I have with me today Alex from our technical team, and he's also our support lead. So he's going to share some things about a two-way effort monitoring the system health of the platform and alerts and seeing what's going on with the system, so people can monitor it more easily. Uh, and we'll answer questions at the end, and we can share recording of this session. So no PowerPoints today, which is great. So we'll show you actually live how this works. So with no further ado, let me turn it over to Alex. Thanks so much.
Thank you, David. So, yeah, like David mentioned, this session is going to be about the Imam Health Monitor, the newly introduced tool. You all know how this usually goes. Like the Imam is spread across a few Windows servers, a web node, an app node, a database node, sometimes doubled up on the one box. And when something breaks on one of them, the way we normally find out is somebody picks up the phone and tell us. That's what this is for. There is a small agent on each server, checking in all the time, so the portal knows what's wrong before anyone calls in. It emails you, and where it's safe to do, it just goes and restart the things itself. There are two things that make it more than a ping tool, and they are both worth watching for. The first is it actually understands email. It's watching the real IMAM services and the IAS applications, not just whether the server answers. The second one is the interesting one. It can spot a service that is running but stuck. The process is alive, so every ordinary monitor in the world says green, and meanwhile, nothing has moved through the queue in 2 hours. So we'll come back to that at the end. So let me start with the real installation, and generally it's a single file. So this is it, the installer, and everything is inside it. The portal, the database, the Windows pieces it needs. You don't need an SQL server for it. You don't need to set up a database first. There is no list of prerequisites to work through the beforehand. Now in the first screen, it's saying it's installing the version 1.5.1. In case you are doing an upgrade on an existing health monitoring tool, you'll be notified like this is the existing version and you are upgrading to uh, this version. So this is going to be a fresh install. So I hope you have seen this 100 times for other applications. Just the folder where you want to install the application. I'm just leaving it default. And this is actually where you want to deploy the application. So this application is going to be part of the IAS, and you can see it's already detected the default website and its bindings. So good thing is you can install the application under IAS, or you can use the existing SSL certificate, which means you don't need to purchase or procure another certificate for this application. And sometimes we may be running this application from the IMAM server itself, which is already having an SSL certificate, so you don't have to worry about that as well. So I'm just leaving this default, and this is where you have to configure um, the endpoint that the agent calls in. So we have to make sure the endpoint is accessible for agents, In fact, we can change this one later too. And also you have to make sure whether you are keying in the HTTP or HTTPS. Right now this server is not having an SSL certificate, so I'm just giving HTTP. So like I mentioned, all the agents which are going to be deployed at the imam servers will be calling this URL to report the server health. Now we need to give the credentials that we are going to use while logging into the interface. So I'm just leaving the username as admin and maybe giving a complex password. And this is it. It's reporting the prerequisite status like the IIS, Visual, C++, etc. So I'm clicking on install. So while that's going on, what it's doing in there is the bit that would normally eat your afternoon. It's building its own database. That's the PostgreSQL bundle inside the installer, and it configures the whole thing itself. Nothing to license, nothing to go and ask for a DBFO. It is also checking what Windows pieces are already on the server. Like we saw in the previous screen, the IAS, the .NET hosting components, etc. So it's already detected, and if the components are not enabled or if it is missing from the portal or the server, it will automatically enables it. Then like we discussed, it will run from the IAS, so it can use the default certificate. So we should be good with the HTTPS part too. So you can see the setup is already completed, and it is giving an option to open the portal. So I'm just opening the portal in the browser. I'm just giving the credentials that I have given while running the setup. Okay, I'm in. So this is it. I think just took a minute to install the setup. Just it's not just installation, and it's already pre-configured the stuff in the background what it required. So now you can see a few tiles here. We have to configure these things. First is the SMTP alert email not configured. So the portal itself is giving us an option to easily configure this. So I just need to click on the fix. Then here you can configure your own SMTP server. Maybe you can use the Google one, the Office 365, or if you have any other SMTP servers you can use here. So for this demo, I'm going to use the SES, Amazon SES. So I'm just giving the informations I have with me. So it's port is 587, the SSL is enabled, and I've given the credentials from email and the two email. So this is my email address. Now I can send the email and test whether I'm really getting an email. Okay, I got an email from the portal, so I mean the SMTP configuration is it's good. Now I'm saving this one. So we are done with the one problem or one configuration. Maybe before going to the settings, I will just add one customer. So this is based on the customer. So I'm just going to create a customer, maybe Alex demo. So the customer is created. You can see here it created one. And if I go here and if I click on the art server, I'm going to install the agent on my machine, and my machine is already having all the components like the database, web and app components. So what I'm doing is I'm just clicking on the generate download link. It generated a link. I'm just going to copy this one. Then I'm going to uh, paste this into my browser. This is my machine. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to download the agent that can run from my uh, laptop here. I just downloaded it, so pretty straightforward. no other configurations, no other pop-ups. So let the download complete so I can go through the agent setup. It's almost done. Okay, we are done with the download. Now what I'm going to do is just double click on this, and it just opened command prompt, and it's done. So the agent installation is also completed. Like I mentioned, there are no specific configurations needed while we run the agent. It's not going to ask you for any information. The everything it's there in the agent exe itself. It's all pre-configured. Here you can see the monitoring agent. It's a Windows service. That means even if you reboot the server, it's going to come up after that. We don't need to log into a server to make sure the agent is running. It will be running. Now if we go back to the portal, we can see, so one customer is there, and the server is already listed here. Now we have to select the components. For that, go to the settings. So the agent will detect what all modules or what all components running from the system. Now, if you expand the resource thresholds, it already detected there's a C drive in my machine. Okay, I need to monitor that. And I need to monitor the CPU and memory in real time and the components to monitor. So all these components are under IIS, the imam client, the imam director, the metadata import tool, REST API, etc. It's all under the IIS. So I'm just selecting this so the agent can monitor it. In case there are any connectivity issues or accessibility issues to any of the selected components, it will report it. And another interesting thing is it auto detected all the required imam components. Like, we are not telling the agent to show this one, we are not adding anything from manually from here. It auto detected the components. Same case for the Windows services too. So if you look at here, it listed all the imam services. I'm going to select all the services, um, and I'm going to save this one. I will come to this these settings after explaining the root settings options. Now I just selected the required components to monitor so the agent can monitor it. As you can see, now we have all the details, like it's monitoring the CPU, C drive space, memory in real time. Then it is monitoring all the applications under the IAS. Same like the IAS, it's also monitoring the Windows services. Now it's asking me to do the database probe. I'm just clicking on the fix. We need to add an SQL connection here because in order to dictate the store situation, service store situation, we should have access to the database. So I'm just creating a user which is having only the read access to the imam database. So for that, I'm just giving a name, maybe imam database. It will be localhost because the agent runs from the SQL server. The database name, I'm giving a login username, and the password will be generated by the portal itself. So when I click on the SQL setup script, it showed me the script which I have to execute at the SSMS. Now I'm just taking the SSMS, putting the script here. It auto generated the password. So this I can configure in the portal. I'm just executing. The user is created. Now I'm going to give the password here and selecting this one. So the agent can probe the SQL to get the real-time data. So that is also completed. Another add-on is two-factor authentication. If you want to give more security to the application, you can make use of the 2FA. You can download and install maybe the Microsoft Authenticator or the Google Authenticator, and you can configure the 2FA. That's optional. And also you can give the HTTP S endpoint for this portal. Now, let me go through the settings here. So here, public portal, that's the endpoint to which the agents are reporting the health from individual IMAM servers. Anytime we can modify this. And email alerts, we already discussed. So it's the SMTP and the resource thresholds. So right now, the agent or the portal will send us an email if the drive space go below 10%. And also the CPU and memory goes beyond 90% and stays there for 10 minutes. Because if you are not giving the sustained minutes, sometimes the CPU and memory can spike and it may come down maybe in 10 seconds or 30 seconds. So I don't think we need to get an email for that. But if it is giving there for a few minutes, then obviously there is something going on. We need to get a notification. So that's why the sustain minutes are for. And restart if stop. If the services, there are two situations. Service is stop. Okay, we can decide whether we should start the service or keep it like that. If it is on, then it will the agent will automatically start the service. If it is off, then it will leave it like that. And we have a separate situation, stall situation. If the service is actually stuck, then we can decide whether we should start the service. Now we have the max restart attempts here. If it is 10, it will try 10 restarts, and then it will send out an email. And it's a cooldown between the attempts, so there will be 1 minute gap between the restart attempts. Now consider even the agent itself went down. That means the server itself is down. So if there is a situation like this, the portal will inform us the agent itself is down, so there can be something wrong with the server. So we can just check the server as soon as we get that email. So we can configure a time period here. So after 5 minutes, if you are not getting any signal from the agent, then the portal will send out an email. And for the services, here is the stall configuration. Like I mentioned previously, the services may be running, but it may not be doing anything. Like the things will be stuck in error status or queue status. So here, even after 120 minutes, if nothing moves, then it will send an email to the configured email address, and it can also restart the services if required. If this option is ticked, then that means it's going to restart the service um, along with the email. So I'm just changing this one to 1 minute so I can show how this is working, because anyway we cannot wait 120 minutes. So these configurations are common for um, all the other services. And if the customer is using Lambda, then that's a separate configuration. There is no restart concept for Lambda. So just saving this configuration. Now, if I go to the settings at the server level, we have the similar settings here as well. If you expand the RK manager, you can see it is right now it's inheriting all the detection thresholds from the root settings from here. But if you want to turn off anything at the server level, you have the options here. You can override the root level settings from here. So all those options are here in the individual service modules under the server. And when you expand the SQL connection, you can see it's working already, and it's already probing the imam database. Now we have the reports too. So the reports, it's reporting overall report uptime, and it's 100%. There are no incidents after configuring the agent. And we can add users to this portal. Now maybe I will invite myself. So there are two types of users. One is the viewer and one is admin. Admin can make any configuration changes. Viewer can just see the portal. They cannot make any configuration changes. So you have already seen the admin privileges. Now I will send this as a viewer. So I'm just sending an email. Either I can wait for the email or I can just copy paste this URL so I can log in. So I will wait for the email. Okay, I already got it. So I'm just copying this URL. So here I can set my password and log in. So this way you can invite your colleagues in your organization to access this application. Okay, so it's saying read-only mode. We cannot change any settings here. You can just watch what's happening and if it is reporting any errors, etc., etc. So right now, let's see the remediations in action. Now I'm going to stop the RK manager from here. So it should be reflected in the portal. So as you can see, it's reporting Imam RK manager is down, and it's going to auto remediate it. Also, I got an email stating the RK manager is down. So you can see it's reporting the archive manager health is critical. Now the agent started the service by its own. You can see the archive manager is running now. And I got another email stating the health became okay. Um, so this way, and also in the portal, you can see the warning went away. And also we have other features like deactivate. So if I am deactivating the server, then the agent will not report any issues, or it will not try to auto remediate the problems. And we have the maintenance mode. Sometimes we have to do the patching and all, where the IAS or the services should not start by its own. In that situation, we can put the maintenance mode on. So you can see the health, but it will not try to auto remediate the stuff. Now, since we have stopped the service, if you look at the report, we can see the incident. Like there's a 9-second downtime in the server, and it reports at what time it went down, at what time it recovered. So we have everything in the reports. Now, let me try to simulate situation where the service is getting hung. Um, but we may have to wait for another minute because the settings here is at least 1 minute. So that means the SQL probing will be work in a minute. Meantime, I can maybe explain through the help. So if you click on the help, you have a detailed explanation how the application is working, what all are the capabilities, and this search document is also integrated to different components here. That means if you go to the settings and if you want to know about the resource thresholds, you can click here. It will take you to that part. Um, so we have a very good documentation as well. Now you can see the RK manager escalated. So we have not selected the auto restart option here, but it sent me an email like RK manager is stuck. So it's also say informing that auto restart is not configured. But if you're getting an email like this, we can log into server and see what is actually happening. Also the other one, whenever the service is recovered, we will get an email like this. So again, all the monitors, services, the components, we will get the emails. We can decide whether it should auto remediate or just need to get the email. And we have the reports. We can add users, um, um, and also the settings. So right now everything runs from this single server, but in real customer situations, we'll be having X number of servers from where the web node is running, the app node is running database, etc. That means we'll be having, if the customer is having 8 servers, we'll be having 8 servers here as well. Like this one, we'll be having 8 individual servers with all these options. I think I have covered pretty much.
Great. Thanks, Alex. Let's see what other questions you have. Servers you just answered can run on all the servers. Licensing, there's no additional license that it comes with. Um, so we have to, whether our system integrators are to help you set this up on your server. Um, and I think most of the other questions answered during the discussion. So please, hopefully with this, I hope this helps you, make sure your system's healthy, and it's great to know what's going on as opposed to finding out later that something's not working. So we're very excited about this. Thanks so much, Alex, and thanks everybody for attending today. Have a great day.
Yep. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone.